Good morning. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. So anyway, Donald Trump, in the middle of losing a war with Iran, Trump reschedules marijuana and claims it's not as dangerous as we thought. How does he know? He's a fucking idiot. I'm so pissed off right now. And let me just put it this way. I'm starting to think that it's not just that the U.S. that it's stupid; it's that the American people are stupid. I'm starting to think that the American people are stupid, and I think that American people may be the stupidest people in the world. And this government is just a reflection of how stupid Americans are. Because if you think marijuana is safe, you are a stupid person. America, marijuana is a but let me explain to you this way. Marijuana is a weapons grade nerve agent. Marijuana today is a weapons grade nerve agent. Marijuana has always caused panic disorder. Marijuana has always caused schizophrenia. Marijuana has always caused mental illness. Now it's even worse. Now it's like a weapons grade nerve agent that Donald Trump is saying it's safe. It's not as dangerous as we thought. No, it's way more dangerous now than it ever was. It's super dangerous. You could smoke marijuana and end up in a mental hospital in within minutes, and just you could go into full-blown psychotic, crazy, full-blown psychotic schizophrenic state and need to be put in a mental hospital unless you can secure yourself. You see, that's how dangerous marijuana actually is. And isn't it interesting how Donald Trump is losing a war in Iran and losing a war to the Russians and losing a war to the Chinese, and America is becoming more and more degenerate and more incapable. But the drugs just keep flowing, and no one sees the connection. It's like, who's putting Donald Trump up to this? As far as I'm concerned, it looks to me like this looks to me like JD Vance 1.0. This is JD Vance's first term, because all these Republicans are actually running the drug business. And and this has been going on for a long time. I noticed this about 10 years ago, that there were a lot of Republicans that were investing in the marijuana business. So marijuana is why America is a toilet. Marijuana, LSD, mushrooms, all these psychiatric drugs that Joe Rogan pushes on his show, and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, that whole JD Vance, Les Wexner, Epstein group, right? They're pushing all this shit, and it makes the population completely stupid. It makes the culture completely disgusting. And I like Alex, out of all those people. I mean, Alex Jones, I don't know if he does push this. He smoked marijuana on Joe Rogan's show, which promotes it, right? Makes people think it's safe. Sean Ryan promotes all these people that are promoting it. This is a CIA deep state from the beginning. It's always been this, but see, now it's become part of the culture. So people push it thinking it's counterculture. It was never counterculture. This was always the agenda. All the transsexual stuff has always been the agenda. Homosexuals adopting babies or making babies through scientific machinations has always been the agenda since the inception of the U.S. government, since it was founded. And the founding fathers who wrote the documents didn't know this, but the group behind them has always been this group. See, the group that got the Freemasons, like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and Ben Franklin, to overthrow the King of England has always been this group. It's always been this group, and this has always been what they've been wanting. They want perversion. They want child abduction to be legalized, basically. Let me give you an example. So you have to make the connection. When you see, like I saw this thing posted on the InfoWars show, and it was a little baby who was being held up by a man, and it said, "I want my mommy." The little baby said, "I want mommy." And the man was the homosexual who had kidnapped it. All legal, through all the legal federal means. You're allowed. Basically, homosexuals kidnap babies in America, and it's called adoption. Okay, and so he's holding up this little baby, close to newborn, not newborn, but pretty close. Baby says, "I want mommy," and he says, "You don't have a mommy," and the baby starts crying. This is the result of LSD, mushrooms, marijuana, toilet culture. The U.S. is a toilet. The U.S. is a toilet. The U.S. is a toilet and does not deserve to exist. Okay. Donald Trump said one of the reasons I voted for Donald Trump is because he said he wanted to kill drug dealers. Is that what he's doing? No. No, he's expanding marijuana. He's expanding all these dangerous drugs. I thought we were going to kill drug dealers, Donald Trump. That's what you said. That's why I voted for you. I voted for you because you said you wanted to kill drug dealers. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Anybody who supports let me explain something to you. I live in Orange County, California, Southern California. You got Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, Riverside, the Inland Empire. And then up north, you got San Francisco, right? All these places, the culture has been completely destroyed with drugs. The people are shit because of drugs. The population has been racially replaced because of the drugs. You see, the reason why the government sucks is because the people are on drugs. The reason why the population has been displaced is because of the drugs. That's why. It all goes back to people being drugged. And when you're drugged, you're not doing the things necessary to make your culture survive. See, the reason why we don't have beautiful architecture and beautiful art and good-looking people who are not only good-looking on the outside, but intelligent and decent and ethical and like genuine is because of the drugs. See, America is a fucking toilet because of the drugs, because of marijuana, because of LSD, because of all this garbage that's pushed by Sean Ryan and Joe Rogan. That's been the agenda the whole time. The whole time. You have to understand. The agenda for the U.S. by this satanic cult that took over in the beginning of the foundation of the U.S. It all goes back to this mafia, which is a syndicate of Talmudic banking syndicate and the Roman and the Roman central government. We'll call it that. It's not the religion of the Roman Christian Church. It's the Pope and this whole commercial network. Okay, they're pushing all these drugs. The pharmaceutical industry is huge with the Catholic Church, right? They are big time drug pushers. They're the ones that push the vaccines to get everybody to basically commit suicide. It's a gigantic. It really is like the Jim Jones cult. That's what America is. If you look at Jim Jones, they were all on drugs. They were all these like weirdo race mixing drug addicts. Like everyone was into race mixing and using drugs and being perverts and homosexuality. Like that whole thing of Jim Jones, that People's Temple, that is Washington, D.C. That's what it is. In fact, Jim Jones was run out of Guyana, which was right near a CIA base, with a guy, can't remember his name right now, Dwyer, right? Dwyer, the Roman Catholic Jesuit operative. That's what this is. The Republican Party is huge into drugs, huge into drug peddling. That's why the Republican Party is run by homosexuals and pedophiles. Okay, that's this whole thing. Like if you're smoking the weed and getting high and doing mushrooms and taking pills, you're in a cult run by pedophiles. You're in a cult run by pedophiles. The reason why the media is the way it is, and you're like, it's the Jews. Well, there's Jews running it, but the reason why it keeps going on because you keep taking their drugs, right? You're the one smoking the weed. You're the one taking the LSD. You're the one taking all these weird drugs and watching Joe Rogan. Well, that's why the U.S. is a giant pile of shit. That's why you keep losing every war that you get into. That's why you just lost a war with Iranians. The Iranians are way fucking smarter than you because they're not on drugs. You see, you're a fucking drug addict piece of shit. The Iranians aren't. You're a drug addict piece of shit. The Chinese aren't. See, your culture fucking sucks shit, and the Iranians have a culture, and the Chinese have a culture. So you're fucking losing, and in the middle of losing a war, you want to expand the drug use. You're so fucking stupid. Donald Trump is a stupid fucking person. He said he was going to kill the drug dealers. Okay. Well, they're all fucking in your office, bro. They're all in your office pushing you to do this shit. You know, they're all in your office pushing you to do this shit, and you're fucking going along with it. And I really see this not so much as a Trump agenda, it's a JD Vance agenda. This is the JD Vance group, the group behind JD Vance. They're the ones pushing the drugs. So we've accomplished absolutely nothing culturally with Trump. We're getting more of the fucking shit drugs. We've got gays who kidnap babies in the Trump admin, and it still goes on in every state in America. Okay, this is all because of the drug culture. It all started. Look, you go back to the 50s. We had a normal society. We had a strong, healthy, young white population that spanned all across North America and into Europe and across the world. Well, that's all been destroyed. And they keep pushing the drugs on you. Who watches Joe Rogan? A lot of white people, probably, right? Who watches? Who's he's the one pushing all these drugs. See, they're targeting you, right? You're an idiot. This country is a fucking pile of shit. It's a fucking pile of shit. The U.S. is a pile of shit. The American people are scum. They're scumbags. It's a bunch of scumbags who are on drugs. So there's no future in this. You're going to keep losing all these wars. So here's what's going to happen. Because the American people are so stupid and they take these drugs that are pushed by the CIA, which is designed to kill them. Like that's why the CIA came up with all this stuff. Like you got like Palantir and Sam Altman and Google and all this stuff. Like you can find out all this information about all these drugs and taking the drugs, and it's part of their culture, right? It's part of the culture it's part of the culture in San Francisco where all the tech hubs are. It's part of the culture in Washington, D.C. Look who, and look at so we talked about Joe Rogan. Look at that other idiot, Roger Stone. He's pushing all this shit. It's Roger Stone, who's on Alex Jones's show all the time, that got Trump elected. But Roger Stone really, I think, now represents the JD Vance group. I see it as the JD Vance group because it's that money group. It's the tech, drug, pedophile, kidnapping ring. Do you understand? Let me explain something to you. You realize that kidnapping in America is not only legal, but it's run by the government. The government kidnaps kids or organizes kidnapping so that a woman can give birth to a baby and sell it to a homosexual. That's America. You can't do that in other countries. In other countries, if you do that, they will kill you. They'll kill you. You know why? Because they care about kids. They care about children. They care about the children. You realize what a selfish and deranged human being you would have to be to buy a baby? It's not for the baby, because the baby, like Alex Jones did it. He had this on his website, which I'm glad he put this on there. It's a baby being held up by a homosexual that kidnapped it. And it's like, where's mommy? And it says, you don't have a mommy. You have two fucking homosexual fathers. That's disgusting. It's so sick. This culture, and it's all caused by the drugs. And it's all run out of places like San Francisco, where the whole tech hubs are, and with Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Palantir and Peter Thiel, and above that, you've got the Rothschilds and Les Wexners and the Epsteins, and they just keep you all in your little pervert prison of drugs and delusion and mental illness. Okay, so let me just finish off with this, because these drugs are super dangerous. I should have gone in more into how dangerous this shit is, but I'm just so pissed off. I think this culture is trash. But let me just tell you this. The drugs are so dangerous that you could smoke marijuana, or your kids or someone you love, and end up in a full-blown psychosis within seconds. And so if that happens, the best thing you can do is, it's going to take just marijuana alone, right? Just marijuana alone could take several days to wear off, where you're still getting reoccurring thoughts of panic, suicidal ideation, feeling like you're gonna, feeling nervous and anxiety. That could go on for several days. So what you want to do is, if somebody you know or love smokes marijuana and goes into a full psychotic break, which happens, it's normal. So what you want to do, and this happens constantly. It's always happened. It's just now it's more potent, so it can happen faster. What you want to do is you want to sit with that person and just hang out with them for basically the rest of the day, and then you want to get them on magnesium, and you want to have them take some really good magnesium that's high quality magnesium, and then that'll absorb into their system, because marijuana is a literally a weapons grade nerve agent. It's a weapons grade nerve agent, and it attacks your nervous system. So you want to get through the bad part, the initial bad part, and then you want to get that person on magnesium, and that will calm their nerves so that it'll take that edge off, and they'll still have, and you'll have to stay on the magnesium for several days. They still may have suicidal thoughts for several days, or some kind of panic disorder for several days, but it'll wear off. And the other thing about drugs, most toxins are fat soluble. So what that means is they stay in your system, in your fat cells. It's not like a water soluble toxin. It doesn't just flush out of your body. Most toxins are fat soluble, so it stays in your body. And if you do a little bit, it'll actually build up over time, and it'll make you insane. So you want to stop using it, and then if you can find a way to remove the toxins from your body, it's a slow process because, like I said, it's in your fat cells. But in the meantime, you want to, if you continue to use magnesium to counter any of the bad effects of this toxic chemical weapons grade nerve agent called marijuana, which is a weapons grade nerve agent that's designed to make you insane and make you into an idiot and make you into a psychotic or schizophrenic. The magnesium will help you to counter those reactions. Now, did Donald Trump bring any of that up in his little writing there with all the doctors with the white coats on behind him? No. Guys, delusional. But I really think it's the J.D. Vance group that's pushing it. It's the Roger Stones, the J.D. Vance. I haven't done any investigation into this yet, but I will, onto who's really pushing this stuff with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is connected to some really, really nasty people. Joe Rogan is connected to some really, really disgusting, satanic people that are making money off these drugs, or that want to use them to further destroy the civilization. Let me finish off with this. If you notice, whether it's Tucker Carlson or Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan, notice how it's all about. I talk about conspiracies, but they're like things that are out there, like it's like wizards and warlocks and sorcerers and demons. Notice how it's an aliens, the aliens and the demons. You notice how this is a constant, like a constant theme in the Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones thing, right? See, this is a psyop. This is part of the drug psyop, is making you think that there's stuff out there. And this goes back for like thousands of years, but this is a psyop that's been going for thousands of years, is making you think that there's these mysterious things out there in space somewhere. There's not. There's no mysterious things out in space. There's no mysterious things out in space. And so this leads to other ideologies, that there's some mysterious force behind your mental illness and that you've got to take these drugs, right? Oh, I'm depressed, so I need to take drugs because there's some mysterious force causing this or that. It's like, okay, well, either your body has the nutrition it needs. If your body doesn't have nutrition, you can become agitated. That's true. But so this idea that there's these mysterious forces causing things. This is a psyop of long duration, and part of it has to do with and using drugs and then reinforcing these ideas has been going on for thousands of years. But there is nothing outside yourself, which there's nothing like out in space that's causing your mental illness or something. There's. Let me put it this way. the whole thing about the demons and the witches and the warlocks and the aliens, I'm not saying there aren't aliens. There could be, there's aliens, okay? But what I'm saying is this stuff is all designed as basically like a giant distraction. And it's all pushed by these druggy people. It has nothing to do with building your civilization. It has nothing to do with building a viable culture. No, it's there to distract you. It's there to mislead you. It's there to take you down this path of this weird cult. And this cult is a cult of child abuse, literally abducting kids. They've literally made it legal now in America to kidnap children. It's like part of the government. And so it's kidnapping, child abuse, drugs, and it's this whole AI thing. And it's people like Tucker Carlson that talk about the Shroud of Turin. And this is, we found this shroud. Do you believe in the shroud? It's a mysterious shroud, or the mysterious aliens, or the mysterious interdimensional beings. See, this is all a psyop. And it's run by these people. They're such fucking scumbags. They're such fucking scumbags. There's only one truth, and that's the logos. That's the only thing you need to know is the logos from Theos. Or as I now like to call it, Ea. Ea. The god Ea, which is not a alien or an interdimensional being. See, that's the other thing. I heard Tim Dillon going on about how they think the Sumerians and the interdimension. No, dude. You don't know how to read. There's nothing outside of the logos. There's nothing outside of that. There's only the logos. All this other stuff is bullshit. The culture that is being pushed by the Washington, D.C. is a literal toilet. You're literally living in a toilet, and it's not going to persist. So here's where I was going to end off. As the society continues to die through suicidal policies like let's expand marijuana and LSD use, which is how we got into this situation since the 1950s and 60s. What's going to happen is the civilization is just going to get sicker and sicker and sicker and more mentally ill, which the levels of mental illness now with all the child abuse in America is disgusting. It's so sick. It's just a whole culture of abuse and perversion. And look at the art. Like if you ever go on Netflix or like the movies they come out with, it's all shit. It's just garbage. It's been this way for a long time, though. It's been this way for a long time. But there were some good movies and stuff in like back when I was a kid, they would make some like entertaining movies that were actually good. Or there used to be art that was actually good. There used to be architecture way back when that was actually good. Now everything's disgusting. Now everything's gross because of the drugs. So what's going to happen is the civilization is just going to get worse and worse and worse and become more disgusting and more perverted. And it's just going to get more degraded. And then it's going to be replaced by what? Well, it's either going to be replaced by everything's run by this AI cult, or it's going to be replaced by the Chinese or the Russians or the Iranians, because it's not going to be you, because you're going to be a mental case. You're going to be a schizophrenic fucking retard. I can't say that word. You're going to be a schizophrenic idiot because you took all these drugs that were pushed by Joe Rogan and Donald Trump and this whole group of Republicans and the Roman Catholic Church that's wholly invested in drugs, pharmaceuticals with this Jewish mafia, the Rothschild mafia. And they're all just working to just push drugs and push pedophilia and push homosexuals adopting babies. And that's America. And that's Europe. You think that has a future? You're an idiot. If you think that has a future, you're an idiot. You don't have a future. If you're in that, you don't have a future. So you need to like change course hard, like a hard turn, because this is bullshit.